Hey, Jules Bless Vegan, and as always, thank you for stopping in. So, I have a talk on forgiveness, and this is based on the 4 Steps to Forgiveness by William Fergus Marcus. No, forgive me, William Fergus Martin. And I'm going to post that, in the description of the video. So you can just listen for a moment and then check it out. It's a very quick 3-minute video. And the reason that I chose that was because I've been struggling with self acceptance. And even though it's important for me to certainly forgive myself, this is actually wanting forgiveness from a person who will not be able to give it to me per se. Sometimes we want forgiveness by people who aren't even capable of forgiving, or even more difficult, the person's dead and there's no way to get forgiveness from them. But there is still a process that will allow you to feel that they have forgiven you, that things are, that you can regain peace in your life. So my situation was just recently, I went to a reunion for Drill Team, which was a top, we were number 1 in the country, and it was a really big deal. We were advanced dance team. And when I was in high school, at one point, my advisor decided that I was too heavy and wasn't going to let me perform. And that was devastating for me. And even that I couldn't even wear the costumes because I was considered too heavy. And I wasn't exceptionally heavy. There was actually other girls on the team that were as heavy as me. But she had just decided that I was the problem. So anyway, when I went to this reunion all these years later, it pushed every button for me. And I didn't realize that no forgiveness had ever taken place. And so I looked this up because I feel like it's part of my solution, and maybe it will help you in some other area of your life. So let's just go through the steps. And again, I'm posting this so you can just listen for now and then go back and check, because it's just a real quick 3-minute video. So number 1, it indicates that you should actually physically write down, I want to forgive blank. So who's the person for what? And be specific. So I want to forgive my drill team coach for shaming me regarding my weight and not being accepting of me, of who I am as a person, beyond my physicality. So maybe something like that. I'm generalizing because I actually have to go far deeper than this, but I'm just giving you an idea. So that's step 1. Who do you want to forgive and for what? Number 2 is that you have to write the current unhappy feelings about that situation. And you're not supposed to be nice or anything. You're going to be completely honest. What are your current unhappy feelings regarding that situation? So for me, my current unhappy feelings are feeling that that I was treated unfairly. My unhappy feelings are that I was treated unfairly in that circumstance. Again, not being accepted, having burdens placed on me, like not being able to dress out when other girls were equally as heavy. Just the lack of acceptance, all of those things, even currently, because when I just went to this, that's what I was feeling. Even though I acted joyful and everything else, a lot of it was acting, because I kept thinking, are they remembering that situation? Are they kind of wondering, like, Juliana, I don't think of her as drill team, because of the limits that were placed on me. So there was still just this terrible shame-based feeling. Even though people were thrilled to have me there, and even she was thrilled to have me there, it was terrible. So the situation was, I never would have even known her. Obviously my senior year ended. I moved on with my life. I never went back to a single high school reunion. Everyone thought, oh, Juliana will be at high school every other week, because I was the belle of the ball in high school. I never went back. And in fact, I didn't even go until my 30th reunion. I never did anything with high school again. And so by chance with Drill Team, I took the chance to be part of this. But the reason being, 6 years ago, my coach's daughter was killed by a drunk driver. And it was a horrific situation. I'm not even going to go into detail. But as a Christian woman and somebody who's a God person, there was no way I could let that little kid exit the planet without acknowledging it, nor support this coach in any way that I could. I mean, it's who I am, it's who I'm called to be. I know death all too well, and I had to be part of that. Well, she was so receptive to my God-fearing energy and my understanding of loss, that we completely bonded, and she just thinks the world of me now and couldn't wait to see me. But those other issues were still holding on. So, number 3, you're supposed to write the benefits. What are the benefits? It says, I will be what as a result of the forgiveness? How's it going to benefit you? Does it even matter to let it go? So, for instance, it might say, I'll have more peace. I will feel free or have freedom. I will have more happiness. I will feel relieved. I'm not going to guess on this one yet because I have to spend some time with this, but I think one of the benefits would be self-acceptance. Just being able to accept myself. I, unfortunately, like with all the put downs and all the terrible things I was saying to myself that night, that was just mimicking what was said to me so many years ago. And even though some of those things weren't voiced, they seemed like they were, because that's what I ingested. Sometimes my little students will say, well, Miss McCants was yelling at me. I didn't even raise my voice. But in their heart, they felt like they were being yelled at. And though my coach didn't say much, her actions absolutely said it all. I mean, you can't wear your drill team uniform. You don't get to perform. I mean, hello, the actions were enough. But from there, I just took it and ran with it and punished myself far more. So what are the benefits? Yeah, freedom, self-acceptance, trusting that the praise and love I'm receiving today is equally true for her. So some of that. Okay, so number 4, you're supposed to take 2 of the benefits. So of the whole list of benefits that you're going to get from forgiveness, take 2 and write them into an affirmation. And you're supposed to highlight at least 2 of them that most appeal to you. And so it would be something like, I forgive who, my drill team coach, and I accept the benefits of self-acceptance, peace, which forgiveness brings me. So I forgive whom, and I accept blank benefits for which forgiveness brings me. And then you repeat that 3 times. And then at the end of the process, 1 through 4, you go back to 1 again. And you actually work through those again in case there's anything that you need to modify. Like maybe you want to wait a day and reread it to yourself. And then you're going to go back and reread it and say, what needs to be changed. And also, how many people can you use this for? Who knows, But I think the more you delve in and the more you write, you don't even need to involve another person. This process will free you. I truly believe it will. So I forgive blank, and I accept the benefits of forgiveness by what? What do you think? I think it's pretty powerful. I really do. I listened to a couple of them, but this one was only 3 minutes, and it just seemed right. And it just came to me. God was like, you know what? You never forgave her for what she did to you. There's nothing that I need to ask forgiveness for, but I never forgave her for her actions, and the only power rests with me. It's not a conversation I'm going to have. Oh my gosh, at that reunion, left and right, she was saying, wow, I don't even remember that. Oh, Guy, really, girls? Guy, that's super funny. That wasn't my perception. Gee, I can't even. And I just thought, you know what? None of it's true for her. It's so often in our life, people, we give our power away to people that aren't even tuned in or present for us. They have no idea what power they've had over us. So they certainly don't have the ability to release us from it. It's all internal. It's all God. It's all grace. And it's a gift that we give to ourselves. And then just pray and release that person, right? Okay, so that's my talk. Thank you for your support, people who were supporting me yesterday. It was just a terrible day. But you know what? Grace was back today, and I was just thrilled to get on with life. And again, this is my next step, and I'm happy to do it. I'm going to work on forgiveness and letting it go. All right, so until we talk again, my friends, like if you like, join us if you haven't, leave comments so I can support you, And best of all, be blessed.